Way2 Limited plans to require its outstanding bond. The interest rates are prevailing in the market have dropped significantly from the time the bond was issued 10 years ago. Way2 Limited intends to know if it is advantageous on its part to retire the bond and issue a new bond. The following information was provided for the outstanding bond. Number one, the amount, we have 10 million. The remaining life is 20 years. Number three, the coupon rate 9% per annum. Number four, call price 105 shillings. The par value is 100 shillings. Number five, an amortized bond issue cost 150,000. Number six, an amortized bond discount 500,000 shillings. Number seven, corporate rate 30%. Number eight, overlapping interest period is 1 month. The new bond to be issued, one, the amount is 10 million shillings. Number two, the tenor is 20 years. Number three, the corporate rate 8% per annum. Number four, bond issue cost 350,000 shillings. Required, advise Way2 Limited on the required initial cash outlay, 5 marks. Roman 2, determine the net annual cash savings, if any, from the old and new bond, 4 marks. Roman 3, using the NPV method, advise Way2 Limited on whether they should issue the new bond. That is the question. This is C Roman 1. Now, the required net initial cash outlay will be equal to the initial cash outlay of the old bond initial cash outlay of the old bond minus the initial cash outlay of the new bond. That will give us the net initial cash outlay. You understand? We subtract the new from the old. This will give us the answer there. So we need to calculate the initial cash outlay of the old bond. Old bond. We need to have a working for the old bond. So the initial cash outlay of the old bond will constitute, first of all, the face value of the bond, face value, the face value of this bond. Then we'll add the premium, face value of this bond. Is it 10 million? It's 10 million. 10 million. Then we'll add the premium. The par value of this bond is 100 shillings. The par value per bond is 100 shillings. That is not number 4. The call price, look at the call price. The call price is 105 shillings per bond. The par value is 100 shillings per bond. The premium is 5 shillings per bond. So the premium is 105 minus 100. This is the premium per bond. Then we multiply with the number of bonds. The number of bonds. Let's push this one here, 10 million. Now the number of bonds, we're going to divide the total value of the bonds, total value of bonds. The total value is 10 million. Let me put it at just that. It's 10 million. We divide by the par value of the bond, which is 100 shillings. This is 100 shillings. So this will give us a number of bonds. You understand? This will be the number of bonds. multiplied by the premium per bond, that will give us the total premium. The total premium. So 100 million divided by 100, that will be equal to 100,000. So 100,000 times 5 is equal to 500,000. 500,000. 500,000. That is the premium. Then we are going to add bond issue costs. The issue costs. The bond issue costs number, we have the issue costs. Issue cost amount is 10. We have the issue costs, bond issue costs, bond issue costs, issue costs for the old bond. We have the unamortized bond issue costs of 150. Is it 150? That is unamortized bond cost of 150. So this is the new bond issue, we know, 350,000. Then we add the overlapping interest. Overlapping interest. What is the interest rate? The overlapping interest from the information given there is the overlapping interest period is 1 month. 1 month. So first of all, we calculate the interest, which is 9% of the par value of 10 million. This is the total interest, but it is for a month. Overlapping interest is in relation to 1 month period. So we are going to divide by 12. That will give us the overlapping interest. 75. This is equal to 75,000. 75,000. So the total will be the initial cash outlay of the old bond, which is equal to 10,925,000. That is the initial cash outlay of the old bond. 10,925,000. We then calculate the initial cash outlay of the new bond. These are workings. These are just workings. Working 2, we are going to calculate the initial cash outlay of the new bond. The initial cash outlay of the new bond. First of all, we'll have the proceeds from the new bond. Proceeds from the new bond, and the proceeds just 10 million. Proceeds from the new bond, 10 million. So the first item there is the proceeds from the new bond. Then we'll add tax savings, add tax benefits or savings. Beginning with the call premium, we have the call premium. The call premium, we calculated it. The call premium is 500,000. This is 500,000. We add the unamortized bond discount. That is item number 6. Unamortized bond discount. Unamortized bond discount is again 500,000. Unamortized bond discount is 500,000. We'll add the overlapping interest. overlapping interest. The overlapping interest 75,000. Overlapping interest is 75,000. Then we have the unamortized bond issue costs. Unamortized bond issue costs. Unamortized bond issue cost from the question is 150,000. 150,000. So this total will be the available amount for tax benefit. This total will be the available amount for tax benefit, meaning we could get the total, then apply the 30% to determine the tax savings. So we have this is equal to 1,225,000. So the tax benefit or tax saving will be 30% times the 1,225,000. That is equal to 367.5. We add to the 10 million is equal to 10 million. It's 10,367.5. That is the initial cash outlay of the new bond. Initial cash outlay of the new bond. Initial outlay of the new bond is equal to 10,367,500. So the difference of the initial cash outlay of the old bond and the initial cash outlay of the new bond is going to give us the required net initial outlay, which is equal to 557,500. That is the required net initial cash outlay.